Well, welcome back to Chinaron. Today I'm back on the old Kenmore dryer. This time I'm going to be replacing the felt seal front and back, and the reason for that is because if you turn it on, you're going to hear it grinding metal to metal. That's because the seal is gone. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and pull the drum out and put the new seal in. So let's go ahead and get started. Just like all these projects, you're going to want to unplug it before you get started. On the back side, there's going to be 2 screws you're going to need to take off. Once you do that, the top of this is going to slide forward. We're going to lean this back against the wall. Now the 2 screws on the back here, you can use a regular screwdriver or just a 5/16 socket. Okay, once you get those 2 screws out, all you need to do is lift the back up just a little bit and slide that forward, and it's going to release it from these 2 little clips right here. Then just carefully lean that up against the wall. And now it's going to reveal the drum. So now what we have to do is we have to concentrate on taking the face off. Now on the top, before we go down below, we have a T20 here and a T20 here. So let's go ahead and remove those. Then you're going to have the door switch. You're going to need to remove that. Might have to get a little screwdriver. Pull that, disconnect that. Down here, there are going to be 2 little clips that you're going to have to release. Just take your screwdriver, stick it in there, and on each side, and it should release that front panel. Just like that. Go ahead and pull that and get that out of the way. So on either side, you're going to have a couple of screws you're going to need to remove. They're 1/4 inch, one there, one here, and we're also going to probably need to remove this ground. And we also have a ground here that we just need to unplug. Get rid of that. Don't forget to put that in later on. There's also going to be a couple of springs that you're going to have to remove. So just reach up in there and pull that down and get that spring out of the way. You're going to need to do the same thing on the other side. Let's go ahead and remove these screws. You got one over here. And before you can pull that front off, you're going to have to go ahead and get rid of the lint trap. Next, we got to go ahead and remove this unit right here. This is a good time to clean this as well. I believe it's 1/4 inch down below and 5/16 up above. All right, see, that's pretty filthy. So go ahead and clean that while we get it all out. All right, now that should come right out of there. Just like that. Just doing a quick inspection, I can see that felt, you can see where it's worn right out. And that metal is what's making all that noise. It's hitting against the face of it. I can imagine what the back one looks like. So keep in mind that we have to disconnect the belt on this. So if you remember one of my other videos, I showed you how to put the belt back on. So you got to reach in there, disconnect the belt so we can pull the drum out. Oh yeah. Check it out. Look, you can even see bare metal on this where the drum is hitting the metal on the back of the unit itself. And you can actually see where it's been scraping against the metal. And that's what's making all that noise. All right, now that I got it up here so I can really take a look at it, but look at what we got here. I mean, the metal is just showing. It's completely destroyed. So that one there was the front. And look at the back one here. You can almost see the shine coming off it. So they've been running for a while just on that metal. And in fact, the inside of this is completely gone. It's just got the outer level. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to go ahead and remove the old felt. There's one side. You may need a screwdriver or something to get in there to help pull it off. But once you get started, it should come right off. All right, before we glue the new one on, I'm going to try to clean it up as best I can. I'm not going to get too fancy with it because the pressure of this up against the unit is going to keep it on there. There is an adhesive that we need to put on, but I want to try to clean it up as the best I can. It may be a little extreme. Probably don't have one of these kicking around, but this does a nice job. Okay, there it is. Pretty happy with that. So in the package, you have to buy these separately. It doesn't come as a pair, so you either buy in one or two. So I knew that I was going to have to replace both of them. And even if I did not, for the amount of work to do one, you might as well just do them both. So what's going to happen is basically all we need to do is just slide this over this ridge right here. So I'm going to pre-fit it first. So just go like this. I'm just going to pre-fit it first just to see if it fits. It should. And this is going to be a little bit easier if I lay the tub down. But I just kind of want to show you what I'm doing. Okay, you didn't have to do that. I just wanted to pre-fit it. I always like to do that with certain things, especially when I'm working on cars and so forth. So it obviously fits. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to remove that, and I'm going to put the adhesive on all the way around, and it calls to let it set up just a little bit for about a minute and then install the felt. So I'm going to take this back off, put the adhesive on, and then put the belt back on. Now it calls to just let that set up for about a minute or so. I'll wait about 30 seconds, and then I'm going to slide that on. I'm going to set it back up like I did before and put it on that way. It's a little bit easier rather than trying to show you how to do it this way here. And just like everything, everybody's got their own way of doing it. I've done it this way, and I haven't had a bit of problem. And there it is. Just go ahead and let it set up, and then we'll do the other side. Okay, let's just repeat the process. As you're putting this on, just kind of stretch it in that direction a little bit. I forgot to mention that on the other side. Just kind of stretch that in a little bit, kind of pull it towards where you're trying to put it on. And there it is. Both sides are done. So I'm going to let those set up. And while this is setting up, we're going to go ahead and vacuum that all out and get it all cleaned up. Pretty good. So now what we need to do is we need to put it all back together. And I'm just going to show you real quickly on the belt itself. I showed this on the other video of how to replace the belt, but I might as well show it again. When you put the belt on, you're going to place it on the drum, slide the drum in, and this is just going to be dangling down below. And you're going to have to reach in there blindfolded and actually install this. So I'm going to show you exactly what needs to be done once that happens. So with the belt hanging down like this, you're going to take it and you're going to wrap it around the motor. You're going to come up around this pulley, and it's going to look just like that. That's what you're going to try to achieve blindfolded, basically, because you're not going to be able to see much. You're going to kind of rely on feel. All right, let's go ahead and start reassembling. So that belt is all set to install, but don't install it now because there's going to be some tension on this. So we'll do that after we get the face here on. All right, it's going to be a little bit of a tight fit because you've got those new gaskets on there, so it's going to have a tendency to push away from you. But you'll go. I'm going to go ahead and put these top ones on first, just to hold it in place. Go ahead and plug that door switch back in. Don't forget your ground. Now don't forget these springs. It goes right there. And on the door itself, you'll feel it. There's a place to hook it right there. Same thing with this one, just bring it up, and you'll feel on the door itself. Just like that. Go ahead and test the door, make sure it's okay. Might as well put the lint trap back in. Okay, now it's time for the belt. Just like that. And we are all ready to go. Okay, let's go ahead and put the cover back on. Just set it down in the little slots there. Not too difficult. Take your screwdriver, and all you want to do is you just want to line that up. Pop it in like that. Do the same thing over here. And there it is. All right, just like when we took the cover off, you want that to set down the front ever so slightly, and you want to overpass it. You want to go over a little bit, and that should slide right in, just like that. And now that's locked in the front, now we'll put our screws on the back. Oh yeah, running like a champ. As you can hear, it's not grinding anymore. I actually put a load of laundry in here to try it out. I'm going to run it through its cycle just to make sure everything is fine. I'm sure it is, but I always like to make sure everything is fine before I put it into service. Keep it in mind that that adhesive is a little sticky, so if you get it on your fingers, you may be working at it for days to get rid of it. So, thanks an awful lot for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.